Like, what if we do a marathon all night?
A half hour.
All right, let's see. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Data for Resellers. And we're just about 2 minutes early, so we're just getting started a little bit early to test the sound and everything. Let's see. Does this go live or what? Oh, we have to wait 1 minute for it to go live or what? Can you guys hear us? And can you see us? Yeah, they can hear and see us. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have this on.
What does that do?
Well, because then I can kind of see because this way I can see what they're seeing.
Oh.
If it's on here. So, oh, here comes our dog. So you're probably going to get to meet them.
One of them.
All right. Well, I'm so glad that you could all join us. It's 7 o'clock. Hey. And guess who's joining me? Ta-da! The dog.
The one-time appearance.
I'm talking about Lewis, of course.
Lewis, come here, bub. Come up.
You guys, Lewis is the star of the show here. He's by the way, Lewis is Daddy's boy. All right, good. I'm glad. I've got my Chardonnay here, my Boss Lady shirt, my Boss Lady Fuel shirt. You got a beer? We're good to go, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, awesome. So we have like 60 people watching us right now.
I don't know, I see Balls,
Dolls, and Disney.
Isn't hearing or seeing anything.
You might make sure your sound is on. See, it's not showing here though.
Not yet.
I don't know. All right. Well, for those of you who can see us, we wanted to talk a little bit about our new course we're launching finally after forever. So 1,000 people have watched our Data for Reseller webinar that we did a couple months ago. And then, so in that meantime, we've been getting some feedback from everybody about like things that we could do, how we could do it differently and better and improve it for you guys. So we've had a lot going on. If you follow me on Instagram, you know our life has been kind of crazy the last couple months, but we've been slowly and peacefully working on the course, which is just about ready to launch.
Peacefully is an understatement.
Peacefully or peacefully?
Either way.
Why? Because I yell at you?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I am the boss lady. So I have to like be the boss of you. It's my favorite.
Whatever your excuse is.
It's my favorite part of it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
All right. So why don't we do this? Let's start with, because they all know me. So let's start with you and who you are. Like an intro. Like, you know, when you go to those cornball things and you have to like tell people about yourself, you get to do that right now.
I get to tell about myself?
Yeah.
Well, generally, my name is Aaron.
Yeah.
I am married to Rebecca. We've been married for over 10 years. We are both originally from Ohio. I have, let's say I've been in the data business for about 20 years now. And with your new venture, I'm a kind of an active participant in how you do things and what you're doing. And
active or forced?
Actively forced in a forceful manner. So you wooed me to come help you.
I think you should, before you jump into like what you actually do for a living, I think you should maybe just tell a quick story about that one time back like in 2007 when I wanted to sell on eBay full time. Do you remember that? And you bought me those books?
Well, there was a pattern right after we got married where you were going between thing. I don't know what they call them. They're semi-hobbies, but you wanted to make money.
Side hustles.
Right. You did some sewing for a while. You
that
did,
didn't work out well.
Street miming, and you were a mime for a while. What else did you do?
I was not a street mime. Get out of here. I was not a clown.
A card shark.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to be a card
there was
shark.
every 6 months you tried something new.
Well, yeah.
And so eBay was basically sold jeans out of our spare room.
It did.
And so that was my first look at.
I was going to open a bakery.
Retail. There was a bakery. You made some very interesting cakes.
They were good.
Yes, but they were very
the private
messy.
part cakes were my favorite.
I went and cleaned all that crap up.
Well, you were my sous chef.
Yes.
Or whatever.
So yeah, so there's been a 10-year odyssey of different things that you've tried.
But I've always had a side hustle, like always.
There's always been a little different piece of you that has exposed itself over the years. Yes.
But this is the first time I've actually turned it into a business, besides my gym.
Right. Right, but that wasn't the side.
That was a whole nother ballgame.
No.
But okay, so the moral of the story is I've been doing this for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Always.
All right.
I don't know. I know anything different.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
About you. I'll make it about me again in a minute.
I'm sure you will. So currently where I am, I work at a health system here in Northern Virginia. I basically lead teams that do.
You're a chief data officer.
Yeah. So a title that I think it's a newer title for most people. So I take care of data infrastructure for the health system, and we do translational research, which means we take large genetic, genomic, epigenetic, microbiome data and put it into big systems for scientists and clinicians to discover and do all kinds of fun stuff, and we have to keep up with them.
It's just like selling dirty genes.
So it's basically like dirty gene selling in like.
But it's GENE. Haha.
Wow. That's why I married you, for your wit.
See, it's like peas and piecing.
Something like that. Yeah, it's all about double entendres tonight.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, so we do that, and then we do a lot of.
But like when we did our webinar and we talk about my business, like we're talking about like 1,000 or 2,000 columns.
Yes.
Like we'll compare that to what you do, like the scale and the magnitude of your job.
Okay, so if the only way I can really say it is if you look at the Library of Congress, right? The Library of Congress is the largest library in the world. There's 36 million volumes of basically books that you can put.
Okay.
If you put that all into a database, it's pretty large, right? It's big. It's big.
Okay.
Probably much bigger than you could ever read.
So every book in the entire Library of Congress.
Right. You put that into on a disk,
okay.
And what we do at Innova and what we do at my job, we do that probably 20 times as large. And that's only for 10,000 people. So we collect so much information about you at a biological level. We know every nucleotide about you and all your family history and everything like that. And we could put it into these massive machines in the cloud. So think trillions and trillions of data points. That's what we store, and we constantly move it around for different people. So it's not just the size of it, but it's how people use it. That's the challenge.
So would you say you are qualified to help me do a data for reseller course?
I am qualified to do data. I'm not sure if I'm qualified to do it with you. So we're still at the baby infancy steps, which is why the dog is huddled up in the fetal, because he gets to see these things that we do together.
Listen, he is a celebrity in my world online. He's always on my
He's
stuff.
stressed out.
All right. So anyway, if you guys have any questions for Aaron, put them in the chat, and we will answer them as we go along. So that's a little bit about Aaron. He does smart, big things with data, and I sell clothes for a living. It works.
Yes. You're not gonna be able to read my scribble, so don't even try.
I don't know why I grabbed that.
Those are my notes. These are my show notes.
Oh.
Show notes.
Okay. Well, why are you reading them?
Because I know what they are. I just had to write them down.
All right, cool. All right. So when we did our webinar a couple months ago, what kind of came out for you as far as what you think people need help with, or what like what was the main running theme when we did that webinar before that that then now that we're creating this course we're trying to help people with?
I think the main thing is, on the data collection side is really understanding why you're doing it and understand it's not magic. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible. Because even in my job, the hardest thing is for people to do the data entry consistently, because it's that kind of crap
tedious.
in. Well, it's tedious. It's crap in, crap out, and you usually it doesn't really make a difference until you're trying to run that report or try to understand why something's happening, and then you go back and you realize, well, I didn't do that right. Or I forgot to add that thing, or it doesn't really, you don't really see it until the end. And so we're trying to get you to strategize before you start entering, or maybe you're mid-entry and you've got a lot of stuff out there.
How do you can tell them about my story when you looked at my data for the first time.
Right. Well, it kind of matches your stunning personality.
You better watch what you say.
Yeah.
We're live.
We're on tape.
Yeah, it's being recorded.
It's even better. So the world knows.
No, they already know, I think.
So for those of you who, Rebecca's kind of like a hummingbird. She kind of goes from place to place. You can kind of see your mind as she's entering data, how she changes things. So let's just say that computers are stupid and they're going to take exactly what you put in them and they're going to use it. So if you are typing in things that are inconsistent, it doesn't know, it can't read your mind.
But why can't I read my colors?
Well, the colors are only for you to do an entry in a certain way that you like.
So
they might make you feel better.
So I spent all that time doing that and they don't really matter.
Aesthetics do not matter to a computer. Okay. It matters to you.
Right.
So if the colors make you feel happy and they make you go faster and they make you feel more pleasant, then please do them.
Well, okay, so mine was all messed up for like a bunch of reasons. But let's talk about like the three reasons the three main reasons you couldn't figure out. We couldn't get really any information because like I was entering it, but I wasn't A, doing it consistently, and B, doing it correctly where we could actually use it to our advantage or to my advantage. Yeah. And so that's kind of what you were showing me is.
Right. So I think a lot of it is, it's as bad as it sounds, a little psychology. You really want to be very, don't only do as much as you want. Right. So it's.
What if I don't want to do any of it?
Well, that's the magic hasn't happened yet where you can just think and it appears on the screen.
When can I tell Alexa, like, Alexa, Gap jeans, size 12, $4?
Actually, probably sooner than we think.
Really? Because that's what I want to be able to. I want to be in their listing and then yell out loud like an auctioneer what I have, and she just enters it into my spreadsheet.
Yeah, I mean, not next year, but.
Can you do that?
No, but voice recognition.
What are you good for?
I don't know. I guess just for this
entertainment,
handling dogs and yeah.
Okay.
So I think the thing is only keep it as simple as you can. Keep it as simple but no simpler is the term. So if there's
keep
only
it simple, stupid, kiss.
Yes, or smile. Keep it simple and smile. So yeah, only pick the things you want, because if you make too many columns, you're thinking all the things that you want to track. You're never going to keep up with it.
I know that's one of the things on our list over there to make sure we put in there.
Right. So think about it was
overkill.
Who, what, where, when, and how did you do it? And then that's what you really want to concentrate on. Don't worry about the nuances of colors and sizes and things. Because at the end of the day, you're not a high volume business. I mean, you're not doing this hundreds of thousands of times. But some people are. But still,
but I think they need a different system though. They probably need an automated.
Yeah, if you are in the tens of thousands of rows in inventory, this is probably not it.
Yeah, so if you're like a mega super seller and you're listing wholesale or pallets or like very large quantities of data, this probably, I mean, we could make it for that, but that's not what this is really.
If you're consistent with it, if you use this right and you get big enough, the way we'll give you the data or the way you're entering in, you can actually transfer it to these bigger systems. If you keep it consistent, which is the other thing, keep it simple, keep it consistent, even if it's your language. I mean, you don't have to go off some standard. If this is the way you talk about things, then that's the way you should enter it. But as long as you consistently do it that way, it doesn't matter. So keep it simple, keep it consistent, and then constantly look at it. Like and do it as soon as you can. So the other thing is there's a lot of procrastination that goes on. because when you buy something, the first thing you want to do is get it on the website.
No, I want to go buy more stuff.
Or you want to take pictures, or you want to see.
I want to buy more.
But the point is, you don't want to enter anything.
No, I never want to.
Right. So enter it as soon as you can. It's like your medicine.
No, it's like a necessary evil that I have to build into my week, or it doesn't work.
Right, and that's why you keep it simple. So you keep it short, you keep it consistent later, so you can use it.
Yeah, but everyone needs to find their own way that it works. And honestly, in the fact that since I've been doing this more full time for the last year and a half, my actual process has changed 6 times. But I'm getting faster and I'm getting more efficient, and I'm able to get stuff in here faster, tracked faster, and marked faster. Alexa said she didn't understand us.
No, she probably won't.
No.
But I will say this, that the other thing, the last thing is that you understand that you'll learn a lot if you continue to look at it. Meaning, just because you enter it in isn't enough.
Right.
You have to look at it, and as you look at it, take it as a learning experience. So that's where you find out what truly works for you, what doesn't, what's sitting in inventory didn't sell. So you need to keep an open kind of mind when you see it actually appear before you, as opposed to if you had loose paper, loose receipts. Once you start seeing this in aggregate, I think you'll be surprised. And I was surprised with some of the stuff that you had.
What did you get surprised about?
Well, number one, how many things you had. Like I only see for the group at home, I only pick up the bags. So I only pick up the bags. I can only pick up the heft.
You're my bag boy.
So I don't know. I didn't know there was hundreds of these things. And
isn't it funny that in the past I used to hide the bags from you coming in, and now it's a pride thing? Like,
why did you hide them from me?
Well, I didn't want you to know I was buying all that stuff.
Why?
Because I wasn't really making any money at first, or I didn't know how much money I was making.
Which is what? So then what's the lesson here?
That now that I'm proud of myself because I figured out that I'm actually making money, and I want you to be proud of me.
Okay.
So now carry all the shit in for me so I can make money on it. You can be proud of me.
Okay. All right. Sure. I'll remember that.
Sweat equity for you.
Right. So, and now we have stairs. So it's even, now I can just use it as a workout.
Yeah.
But I think I was surprised with the amount of stuff, the amount of variability you had. So the different types of things.
Yeah.
But then when you entered it in, like I said, well,
that was partially because I was entering it wrong.
Well, you were getting sloppy. And you were, you were rushing it. And most people probably at home don't have a professional data cleaner like me.
Do you guys have a professional data cleaner?
So these are common jobs.
You hire a data cleaner on Upwork or on a virtual assistant.
I'm sure you can.
But do you really need it? I don't think you need it. I think if you get into good habits, you don't really need to do that.
It's choose your poison. Do you do it when you enter in, or do you do it after the fact? And the problem if you wait till after the fact, and if you outsource it to someone, is they don't know your business. They don't know that one item that you remembered. There's other reasons why you want to do it yourself, because the other thing is you'll take your ownership. At the end of the day, you want to take pride in what you do, and this is something that can. And also, I think. Just by doing it makes you more cognizant of what you're buying.
That's very true.
Because the other thing is that you can buy 500 things. You're like, well, crap. Do I have to enter all this crap?
No. And for me, it was more eye-opening when I realized that either A, the 50% off deals were still too expensive and I shouldn't be buying them. So, even at $12.99 and 50% off, that probably wasn't the best deal, but I got excited because it was 50% off. So I just bought a bunch of stuff, not really thinking about, well, is this not really a good deal? Because psychologically, I think at 50% or more is a great deal, but it's not always if the price is wrong to begin with, first of all.
Right.
And then I forgot what the second thing was.
Keep on drinking.
Well, I'm going to, because that's what's going to make this fun.
Well, it wouldn't be fun without alcohol. Is that what you're saying? Reminds me of our first date.
Don't even go there.
Right. I think the other thing is that sometimes those brands are misleading. So some of the brands you thought would sell didn't necessarily sell.
Well, because people on Instagram told me they would sell. So naturally, I believed them. Right. Then it didn't work.
Well, I think you Yeah, take all the marketing stuff and the people's comments offline.
Because believe it or not, you shouldn't believe everything you read on social media. Did you know that?
Lessons learned. I'm not on social media, so
free advice for you folks. Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
No.
All right. So what else?
What else?
Yeah. So tell all of these lovely people. We have like 80 some people on now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what they can learn with their data. Or why is it important?
Well, again, I think it gives you kind of a truth.
Do you need your notes?
No, I think, the truth is, if you enter it consistently, it's going to tell you some things. And so I think, while you're entering it, there's, 3 steps outlined here. Is you want to.
What are they? What are your steps?
Well, they're entering it in. You have to enter in just what you want. Again, just keep it simple.
Is this confidential?
No, I don't think it is. Keep it simple. Really try to make it as easy as possible for you, because the faster you can do it, the more likely you are to do it again and again. Keep things together. So, literally the fields themselves, put them together.
But don't merge them, because you yelled at me for that.
Don't merge them, and don't do a lot of what I would call free text, which is like mind dumping.
No, but I have to do that on one. I have one column that I do that on.
Yeah, keep it to one column.
It's a description.
There's descriptions, and there's things that, hey, this thing might have a little quirk in it, or a hole, or I noticed this, or you might want to keep comments.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to do reporting at the end, you want to keep your other columns very consistent, because that's how you're going to group and filter and sort. But you want to put those things that are easy to do right next to each other. So the faster you can enter it, I think the better people will do. And that's the way we laid out the spreadsheet for you, is that we started putting them together, and then we started to make them have validations, which means you could start typing 2 letters and then it knew what you were typing, so you could quickly type them in faster.
But why do you do validations?
So that you don't mistype something.
Or put spaces where they don't belong. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Spaces in the computer world actually mean something. And if you put a space at the end of a category or a brand, it will think it's 2 different things.
But I think for me, it's a habit, because when you're writing a sentence, you put a space. So it's like da 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 space da da da. You know what I mean? And
right.
so
that's why the validation helps, because then if your brand is was it Michael Kors, and you type in MIC.
I don't buy Michael Kors.
What, name me your brand?
Burberry.
Chanel.
Well, I don't. Can I buy Chanel?
No. What is it? J. Crew. J.
Sure.
Crew. J. Crew. J. Capital J. Lowercase. Motley Crew. Whatever they spell that.
Motley Crew.
That's the way you were spelling it for a while.
J. Crew. J. Crew. J. Crew. No
capital
space.
J. Lowercase. Crew. Then a space. The computer thinks those are all different things. So that's why if you spend just a little bit of time up front doing that, then your reports, when you say, what are my top sales?
Okay, so people are asking what is important to track.
Well, again, think about the things that make, at the end of the day, are going to help you. So the who, what, where, when, and how. So the things that you commonly do.
So I track the date I purchased it.
Yep.
Where I purchased it.
Yep.
You made me divide out the city. So I do that. I divide out where I purchased it in the sense of a city, because I source in Virginia and Ohio and on vacations and that kind of stuff. So that's the only reason why I divide out, like, Goodwill, Alexandria, or Savers, Cleveland. So that's why I divide that out.
Yeah. And
then I do the brand. And then I have that generic box, which is like blue blazer, size 6, hole in it, whatever, that's like my description thing. And then the item type, which we'll just call it a blazer. Mm-hmm. And then if it's a men's blazer, I put man blazer.
Right. But so then you have to be consistent with your tenses, like men, man, boys. So I always think about it this way. You always want to do like 2 categories at least. One is that roll-up category, because again, if you're dealing with small numbers and everything is so unique, you're never going to be able to roll them up into some aggregate that makes sense. So if it's always I know
what you're talking about.
If you sold 10 things, right?
Yeah.
And you named them all differently 10 things, and you said, give me the
What if they are 10 things?
They are, but they always have like little roll-ups. So they're either men's or women's, or they're jackets
okay.
So if you name them so distinctly, you're never going to get any
I put like
sales.
man jacket, man blazer, man shirt, man pants, man shoes.
And what I'm saying is, for some people, you would do a man as one column and jacket, blazer as a second column. So you could always do the men's things.
So, okay.
And tell me all the jackets. And then
is that better?
So the term is either a clumper or a splitter. If you're a clumper,
that sounds gross and derogatory.
It's not. These are data science tools.
Cool.
People talk about clumping is where you mash it all together in one long string. So the clumpers put all that in one, and then you have to, if you want to spread it out, you have to do that after the fact. The splitters split it all into individual columns on your spreadsheet.
But isn't that like too much?
This is the art.
What's the preference?
The preference is 2.
Okay. What is the preference
columns
for people who don't really know what they're doing, who are very basic, like me?
2.
So, okay.
So you do 2. You can have your description, which is your unique thing that you want to, like that might be your description on the website.
Did you put that in our course?
There's 2 in the course.
Okay.
Right. So there's 2.
Never mind.
So there's a category to
splitter chunker.
We're splitting chunks or something like that. But we're in the middle. We're not trying to do, again, this is why I don't want people to think I have to do everything I think I could ever report on. Only do like the things that you think are important. You can always add them later.
So I put purchase price. I put if there's a discount.
Discount from what?
The store.
And why do you need that?
Well, I just like to know if I get a good deal on my sale prices.
But why does it matter?
I don't know. It's a mental thing. Okay, so I do that. That's my own thing. And then I hit, and then that's the first part. Oh, and then I do my barcode you made me do, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about my barcoded assistant in a minute. But then I put, okay, so then that's it. So that's like the first part. And then the second part is the sale price, what I made on the item.
So sale price is the listing price or the sale price?
That's what it sold for.
Okay.
So it's what it sold for. So like if it's on Poshmark, it sold for $25. That goes in the sold for. I made $20.
Right.
And then you have the autofill column in there that subtracts what I paid for it versus what I made on it. And then the profit column, right?
Yep.
And then on the other side of the profit column, I have what type of sale, like it was a buy it now, was an offer, was an auction. I have what platform it's sold on. So if it's sold on Poshmark or eBay or Mercari or whatever. And then I recently started tracking free shipping on eBay because I want to know if I'm selling more items with free shipping than not free shipping. And then the last one, you had put that in there. It's the drop down box with like the sold, kept, damaged, destroyed. And that's for taxes. We did that for taxes, right? So that we can track that, like damaged out cost of goods and things like that.
Sure.
Right.
There's a category.
So we can sort by all the things I kept, all the things I sold.
Right. And that's also for inventory. So if you wanted to know what your inventory was, that's a very easy column for you to filter and say, what do I still have that hasn't sold?
Okay. All right, here we go. We got a bunch of questions now. All right. So Julie asked, if you aren't tracking very well now, can you catch up, or like, how do you catch up? Like, would you do an inventory first? Like go through, like, how would you catch up with that or start over?
So it depends on how much you have in like to do. So
what if you have like 500 things?
I would say that it is a cost benefit for that. So think about what benefit are you going to get out of going through all your receipts or all your inventory and actually typing it in versus trying to catch up.
Well, let's change this into 2 scenarios.
Right.
We have one scenario of people who literally do zero bookkeeping. Like they don't even have, they have everything written down on notebooks. They've got their taxes done. They wing it, right? And then you have other sets of people who used to be like, who are like I used to be, which is this inconsistent, like some things get tracked and some things don't. So what do those 2 scenarios?
So the people that don't have everything, I would start with just like what I would call a inventory or a cataloging of what you would have to assemble to put that data entry in.
You mean like what they have in their inventory? Because what if you don't know what you paid for the items?
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm saying. I mean, you have to figure out what information you have, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the information, don't make it up.
Because what happens when you go to these thrift stores is you go and you buy like 100 things, and they don't write like Burberry men's shirt on the thing. It's just men's long sleeve shirt. So you don't know. It's not like a retail store.
So what I'm saying is, if you're in a house and you have receipts everywhere, right? So the first thing I would do is like assemble them and get them into one pile. And I want you
receipts?
Everything. So because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a pile of receipts about that thick, and some of them you're going to look at and go, whatever. I would put them there and I'd look at them and I'd close your eyes and I go, do I really want to do this?
No.
Because at the end of the day,
nobody wants to do this besides you get paid to do it.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, who's going to do it? How long is it going to take you? And then if you make that leap and say, yeah, I want to do it, then you need to go through those and say, is the information that I want to track on the things I have? Because if you put the effort in, you want to make sure you have, again, all this information that you can put in there. Because if not, you're going to have this is the term, another data science, a sparse matrix. So you're going to have all the things, all the items you want.
That sounds fake.
Now, all the things down the left-hand side.
And I just thought of Keanu Reeves.
Sparse matrix. Because the matrix is just a
movie.
It is a movie as well. But if you're going to type in all those inventory items and you have very few things to put in there, it's going to look like a bunch of holes. And if my recommendation is, if you're going to put the effort in, make sure you have enough there. You won't be perfect, but get enough to where you feel that you're going to get benefit out of doing it. Because if you don't, you're wasting
otherwise you do what? Just start fresh.
I would start fresh, and then there might be certain ways that if you get comfortable with the entry, then you can go back and enter in some things that maybe you haven't sold yet.
Well, I think what people could do in that situation is go in and at least do like a barcoding inventory type, like take inventory of what they actually have. Because I found that even though I have this whole system set up, like there were still 20 things when we moved and I did inventory that I didn't have listed that was somehow got, you know, it's just in there in bags that I actually don't have listed anywhere.
So there's this rule of thumb with this, right? With data in general, is that you're going to spend probably the majority of your time on about 5% of your items. Because those are the ones that are the anomalies. Those are the ones you can't find. Those are the ones that are the special ones. So you really,
I mean, you really should spend the most time with the special ones.
Well, again, you should spend on the things that make you the money.
Well,
you spend it on everything, because there's a 5% that'll never make you anything, but you're going to spend a lot of time trying to track them down.
Like my 99-cent auctions that were a bomb.
Right. So you really want to look at that. And again, if you have that spreadsheet or these piles of things, think about the ones that are going to make you money.
All right. So what about people who have a little bit done, like they try, like me. People like me.
People like you. Well, there's
the
special needs group here. Again, I would start with what you have entered in and clean that up first.
Okay.
So start with the stuff you already have in there. Look at the consistency. If you take our course, you'll see some things we do.
Yeah.
And see if you can get that into a good position, because that's low hanging fruit. That's the other thing, is like anything you think that might provide you value right away, do that first. Because again, this is hard. And if you get to the things that you did 2 years ago or 6 months ago that aren't really making you money, but you think, well, I just need to get it in there. Put that in your back basket. When you get a day that you need to get away from things, maybe do it, but start with the things that are going to make you going forward make money.
Okay. Before, just to take like a 1 second break, I just want to tell everybody that's watching right now, we are going to have like a really amazing offer on our course if you stay around to the end. So make sure you stick around, or if you have to leave, make sure you come back and replay the video, because it's only going to be available until tomorrow night. So it's going to be a great offer, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. All right. So Julie, I hope that answered your question a little bit. Why is it important to track where you purchase your stuff? So, Pamela, I actually track where I buy my stuff because, well, for a couple reasons. One, I want to know if it's beneficial for me to continue shopping at those places. So I go all over the place. I go to Salvation Armies. I go to small thrift stores. I shop at consignment stores and Goodwill. Some people go to the bins. I go all over the place to these stores, and I want to know what is worth my while to keep going there. So I want to know if it's worth my time or my energy to go. Okay, he's got to you can hear him huffing in the thing. All right. So I want to know if it's worthwhile for me to continue shopping at those places. The other reason I track where I shop is that I source a lot on trips and I take trips to go sourcing. So is it worth my time when I'm in Ohio to go sourcing, or should I just spend my time with my family and not really worry about it? So that's
family.
Can you think about anything else? Family? I mean, I don't always want to spend time with them. So sometimes sourcing is a good excuse to leave. But if it's not going to make me any money, I don't want to go do it.
Right. Well, I think there's, you know, the variability of like Goodwill. If you think Goodwills are good, but you go to the one in Warren versus the one in here,
right?
You know, you can do both those. So again, back to clumping and splitting, depending on how you want to track it.
Right.
If you're not going that, if there's not a lot of variability there, then it might not be worth your time.
Right. Okay. So the question is, do you take out the fees from different platforms or document the amount it actually sold for? For instance, Posh is a wash sincerity, take it out, but eBay is different. Yeah, in our course, I break down the popular selling platforms, the ones that I sell on, and I'm marking down what I'm selling them for and then taking the fees out. And the reason I do that is because I track my Poshmark sales for my taxes. So in order to do that, Poshmark does not send you a 1099 form. As of January 28th, 2018, they do not send you a 1099. So it's your responsibility to track your Poshmark sales and report them on your taxes. So I mark all of my stuff down in what it sold for, and then I mark down what I made on the item. So like I said, if it sold for $25, I mark $25, and then I mark $20 in the next column. So when I'm running my end of the month reports and I'm entering that information into GoDaddy spreadsheets, I enter in what my sales were for Poshmark, and then I put my commissions and my selling fees for Poshmark back into GoDaddy, because you can write off your fees and your commissions and all of that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that you're not only documenting your sales, but you're actually documenting the fees that you're paying to these places, because they help you in tax purposes when you have an LLC for your business. And eBay is kind of confusing on how to find this information, but I actually do a little tutorial in our course on how I calculate and how I find that information. So someone's saying they don't track individual items, they just do the totals.
Well, one of your things that was very hard for you, one of the times when you were doing the bags that were just how much kind of get in a bag.
Well, because
that makes it hard to track by item.
Well, and a lot of these people shop at the Goodwill bins, which means they pay per pound, which is similar to that. So what we ended up doing with my stuff was we took $25, which is what the bags cost, divided by about 5 bags. So we took the total amount I paid for that whole purchase, and then we divided it by the number of items, and then so every item in there costs 74 cents, I think.
Yeah, I would keep it general.
So if people are shopping at the Goodwill bins, would you recommend they do the same thing? Like they go in, they buy 50 pounds and it costs them $62.
Yeah. So yeah, I would. And again, back to the recommendations, keep it simple. So an easy, just divide by the total number, that keeps it easy. And then as you go through and you compare that to when you buy them individually at different places,
right?
You're going to get an idea of if these are bargains for you or not. The other thing is that you end up buying probably a lot more than you would if you were buying individual items. So sometimes you end up with a lot of inventory just because you wanted to shove in the bag.
Awesome. Michelle says she's already doing some of the stuff we've suggested with the Excel spreadsheets. Do you track items from your personal closet that you sell? So yes, in the column where it says where I bought it from, the label for that I use is my closet. So people know that when I do, so if the IRS ever comes to audit me, I have a very detailed spreadsheet of this is where everything's coming from. So if it's coming from my closet, it's all put in there. What is the threshold for needing to include reselling profits on your taxes? So even though Aaron has a degree in accounting, we're not really tax professionals. But I do have another video on my YouTube channel that talks about that with Not Your Dad's CPA. I didn't realize that it was just showing him in the video, but you can hear me talking in it. So, because I'm the worst when it comes to this stuff, like technology, but okay, mister, I work in IT and I can't fix our printer.
Not bitter about that, are you?
No, not at all, because you need to fix it. Someone said they're watching The Matrix right now. Julie said what we said made sense. Okay. What brands do you think sell best on Poshmark? Oh my gosh, what a loaded question.
Well, I think that this is the reason why you have data, so you know.
Well, because some brands that sell well for me on Poshmark, like I sell a lot of J. Crew on Poshmark, but I've had a lot of people tell me that they can't, like people don't buy J. Crew in their closet. So I don't know if it's because all of my other items are kind of complementary to J. Crew. So people are coming for one thing, but maybe they buy another. I don't know why. I just keep buying J. Crew because people buy it.
Well, I mean, that's what the data should tell you, is that these are the things that are, and these are the things that aren't. You know, you might have people that tell you that, but what is working for you? Right.
So one of the things that I'll tell you is it's one of the unique parts about this business is everyone's stores and closets and all this stuff are really unique to you and what you have listed in there. So when people are coming and looking at your items, when you're I guess it's upselling, you know, if they're coming and then they end up buying at they come looking for one thing and buy another thing. If you have complementary items, that's what people end up buying. So let's say you have a lot of, I'm trying to think of an example in my closet. Actually, I have a couple examples. One, I have a lot of like business boss lady professional clothing in my closet. I have a lot of blazers and dress skirts and dress pants and all those kind of things. But then I have a couple like Miss Sook sweaters, which are for older folks. I mean, they're not always for older. I don't want to stereotype that, but it seems to be that's the clientele for that. So those items sell a lot less in my closet than they might in someone else's closet who has a lot of the Masook brands and maybe the like Chico's and Talbots and those kind of brands, which are complementary. Because you have to remember, people come to your closet for one thing and they might actually end up buying something else. So, what is the cost of the course? Okay, we'll get to that at the end. It's affordable, I promise. Do you also separate your selling price from free shipping and mark that in a different column? Yeah. So on eBay and Mercari are the only apps or selling platforms that I use right now that the seller has an ability to offer free shipping. So when I put my selling price in, I'm putting my whatever it sold for in, and then what I make on the item, regardless of what the shipping is. But then there's that column that says free shipping. So I can differentiate. I guess I'm splitting it, right? So, I got that right.
You did. It was a fist bump.
That was all right. So we're not good at that.
You are good at that. You just messed it up.
So I'm not good at that?
No, you just messed it up.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so that's how I break it up on there. My number one tip for increasing sales is listing every day. Listing every day on every platform. So even if you list 3 things a day, every day, keeping your store active with fresh listings, I have to say, in my experience, that's definitely been the case. Poshmark's been really slow for me. I'm not really sure what's happening there. I have some other videos on that. Do you think most postures are in fact claiming the earning from selling, or a large number not claiming this income? So I mean, I obviously can't speak to what other Poshmark sellers are doing with their finances, but because I'm running this as a business and I want it to be profitable, I'm putting my Poshmark profits on there. I think it's only a matter of time before Poshmark starts sending out 1099s or starts reporting how much people are making to the IRS. So I think that's coming down the line. I would rather be proactive than reactive when it comes to that stuff. So I'm just making sure I track it. I'm covering all my T's and dotting my I's. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I have a column for, I don't have a column for the list price. I just have a column for whatever it sold for, because all that matters to me is how much that item sold for. So if we have 7 items to list, should we list 1 a day rather than all in one day? I mean, if you have 7 items to list, you could just break them up in a couple days. You could do all the pictures and the descriptions. Personally, I think it's important to just keep your store active with fresh stuff. So if you have a couple things each day, I think that keeps it a little bit more alive. Chelsea, I'm so glad you're tracking everything this year. I am too, because someone's making me.
I don't make you do anything. We know that.
Wow, that's true. I want to know why you didn't like my hair extensions.
I just didn't.
Everyone else did.
Okay. They don't live with you.
Yeah, but they still look at my face on Instagram. All right, so let's see what else. How do I find good items? Oh, that's a whole nother ball game. I'll do another video about what I buy in thrift stores.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Isn't this why you use the data? So that you know what you want to find. I mean, good things are a relative term. Are they good because they sell fast? Are they good because they make you profit?
See, Julie liked my hair.
Good. So what I'm asking you is, when you say, how do you find good things? How do you define good things? What are good things to you?
But my
data, post data. What are good for you? How do you, when you walk in a store and your eyes are wide open and you're breathing the air and you're ready to, you've got your $100 ready.
The other day I was driving to Ross and I thought I was going to get in a car accident because I was so excited to get there, since everyone on Instagram was posting these like amazing deals.
Right.
And then I got in there and it was not that exciting.
So that's what I'm asking you to prove.
I got caught up in the hype.
What I'm asking you to prove here is, what is your perspective? What's the rose-colored glasses?
All right,
now that you have on this? What's different?
Okay. What's different is that I try to buy things at the lowest price possible. So
When did you go in there and say, you know what, I want to buy this? This is acceptable.
Can you let me talk?
No.
Why do you have to talk all the time? No, I would go into a place and see an item that I really liked. Okay.
And why do you like it?
It's personal preference.
Okay.
It's like something that I like that I would want for myself. And I'm like, oh, well, someone will totally buy this. I'll pay $12 for this. And then I sold it for $12. Right. And then I actually lost money on it because people did not buy it.
So you're more cost sensitive.
Yes. And I'm better about leaving stuff in stores. So now when I go to the thrift store, I have this thing in my head that it's almost like that profit calculator column that you put in that spreadsheet. It's like in my brain now. So now when I'm in the store and I have my cart and I have it piled up to here and I'm going through my items, dividing them up, figuring out what I'm going to buy, I actually am calculating in my head, is this worth buying? Based on what they've sold for in the past for me.
Okay. So is it kind of like going to, when you used to go out to eat and...
I mean, I love going out to eat.
Like, have you ever gone to those restaurants where you...
Are you asking me or other people?
Let's say P.F. Chang's, right? So you go to P.F. Chang's, you eat all that stuff, and it's great food and whatever. And then about a year later, they go up there and they start putting the calories on there.
Yeah,
right? And you're like, wait a minute, I'll probably go for this one because this one's like 25,000 calories and I just want to So it's like that trigger in your mind, but until you saw that number, it didn't
Listen, I'll never forget the look on your aunt's face when I was doing all in the fitness stuff and I had my gym and we went to P.F. Chang's and she thought she was ordering something really healthy. And I'm like, Linda, that's not healthy. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like green beans and stuff. And I pulled it up online. It was like 2,800 calories for her lunch.
Right.
Lunch.
Right. Right.
And I ruined her day. She was really sad about it.
Right.
So I will never forget that look on her face when I ruined her day.
Yes.
About how many calories are P.F. Chang's.
Right.
And that's literally, I've never wanted to eat at P.F. Chang's.
But it was just four numbers that ruined her day.
It ruined my day too, because now I don't ever want to eat P.F. Chang's again.
And you never want to buy that Chanel blah 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 blah.
No, that's
for $1,200 because
$1,200. It's like $5,000. No, I still want that.
To resell?
No.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
To carry around like a baby. You know how you were holding?
You have this dog.
No, that's how you know how you're just holding Louis? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to do with my Chanel bag when I eventually get it. I'm just going to lay here and pet it.
It's disturbing.
Why? It's probably an animal lover.
What did you just say?
All right, let's see. Oh, he's very friendly. He's just a weirdo.
Thanks.
What do you think about listing items? The only time I list things at 10 below on Poshmark are clearance stuff, and I still feel like people don't buy it. Let's see. What else? How much profit is your minimum item you'd be okay with earning per piece? Well, for stuff that I buy now and moving forward, $20 profit is what my goal is. For stuff that I bought before and I'm trying to get rid of, I'll literally take any profit I can get on that stuff.
Well, here's the thing. If there's no problem, if you make a profit at a certain level, if you do it over and over again.
But it's volume.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Like, right.
You as you see this data and as you evolve, you're going to be either a custom, hey, I want the high-end stuff because that's my clientele, or I'm going to be a volume business at making $10 per shot because my clientele. The data should start to guide you when you go to shop. That's really the goal here. Is this starts to get you better when you go in because your client, the demand for your product should be very
what people are buying.
Yeah, and it can change over time, which is why you have to be kind of dogmatic and not dogmatic on what you buy.
Okay, so do you remember when we went to someone's asking me what the highest profit was on an item I have. Do you remember when we went to that bag sale?
Which one?
The one where you stood there and I had piles and piles and piles of clothes all around you.
Yeah, that was an awful day.
Yeah, I was there for 5 hours?
It was a long time.
Well, and remember I asked you to look up that jersey and you were like, I don't know, $20.
This is the Buffalo one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then what did it sell for?
I don't know. You tell me.
$250.
Okay.
And I paid 74 cents for it.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a good profit.
Right. That was really excited about that one.
Some guy's wearing that right now. I'm very happy.
All right. What else do you want to tell anyone about our course? Why should people sign up for our course?
Well, I think it tries to take I think it's really trying to take the mystique out of this stuff. It's not really all that hard. It's just consistency. It's having a good strategy, which will tell you, and it's really just being open to what it tells you. These numbers are for you to take advantage of to make you a better reseller, a better profit. Let's
talk just really briefly about why we use Google Sheets.
Google Sheets is free, number one.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like
for
Excel.
Mac people, because it doesn't, if you buy
anything.
Well, no, but if you buy a Dell computer, most of the time it comes with those Office suite software.
Right. It's overpriced. I mean, the reason Microsoft is so big is because they can license this crap for a lot of money. But 99% of it, nobody uses.
Google's like, it's free.
Well, 95% of it, nobody uses. So for us, it's very easy. If you've ever used Excel, you'll pick it up like that. But you can get it on your phone, your tablet, a Mac, a Windows. As long as you have a browser, you can do it, and you can be in multiple places at once. If you're in Starbucks and you want to look something up, you don't have to drag around your computer to do that. So yeah, it's very easy to use. The templates we'll give you will work right away. And it's easy to duplicate these things too. So if you like it, but you want to make changes, you can always duplicate it and you do your own. So we give you a pretty good starting point for you to take ownership of.
And the best part about it that I like is I have an iPhone. And so when I'm in the stores, if I get an offer on an item on Poshmark or on eBay, I can go into my spreadsheet and look at exactly how much I paid for that item and if it's worth it to me to accept the offer. Because part of the thing that I've tried to do in the last couple months is not be a greedy bitch and actually accept offers that maybe I didn't want, but they are putting me in that profit range that I want to be in, and they're selling it, and I'm moving through my inventory faster. So it allows me when I'm out and about to be able to see what people are selling for.
Right.
All right, so let me get this link. Hold on, that's what I was looking at. Well, I don't know why this isn't. All right, so here's the deal with our course. All right, so the data for reseller course. This is the beta launch. The course is going to launch on Valentine's Day, which is February 14th. I am only going to do a certain amount of people I'm only going to sell to a certain amount of people up to the beta launch, because Aaron and I really want to make it a high quality, understandable, awesome course for everyone. And so in order to do that, we are going to do a low cost beta launch for you guys that will allow you to get it at a really great price and allow us to learn and grow and make it better, give us feedback. So the beta version of this course is going to have a private Facebook group that has access to Aaron and I. So we will go in, a couple times a week and try to answer everyone's questions and make sure that we know what's going on. It'll be a private group. The only people in that group are people who sign up for the course. And here's how it's going to work. Because you guys came today and watched this webinar and asked questions and all of those kind of things, we are going to offer it for $49 until tomorrow night. So that's January 29th. So from January until tomorrow night, it's a $49 pre-sale beta launch. I promise you that this course will help you make $49.
Hopefully.
You're the worst salesman ever.
That's your job.
God. All right. Well, it's helped me make $49. So I'm assuming it'll help other people make $49. So I am going to post it in the chat right now. And you need to use the code EARLYBIRD. So if you use the code EARLYBIRD, you're going to get $30 off until 11:55 p.m. on Monday, January 29th. It's also going to be in the notes in the description for this video. If you don't purchase now, the price is going to stay $79. And that's what it's going to be for a little bit. And then the price is going to keep going up as we continue to build content and add to it and make it really an amazing course for everyone. Once Valentine's Day hits, the course is going to be shut off and it's only going to go on a wait list. So the wait list then will be, no one will be able to sign up for the course until we get everyone's feedback in the beta version. And that course was going to launch April 1st. That course then is going to be about $300 because it's going to include a ton of content, like videos. We have tutorials.
We arm wrestle.
You want to arm wrestle? I'm probably for sure gonna beat you. Especially since I almost collapsed walking 3 miles yesterday. I have no doubt that I would beat you in an arm wrestle. So anyway, right now is the time to do it. We want to make sure that you you get in and you get into the beta version. The other benefit to being in the beta version is you will have access to affiliate links. Now, the affiliate links for the course will give you access to earn a percentage of the sales if you recommend it to other resellers or other people. And it gives you the opportunity to earn the $49 or $79 or $99, whatever the program is that you end up buying. You can earn that back by recommending the course. Hopefully it helps you and you want to recommend it. And that way it will help you earn the money back for the course. So only the beta people are going to get access to the affiliate links for the near future, because I want to reward everyone who has been helping us grow and make this course the best that it's going to be. I don't know how many of you know my story, but the whole reason that all of this started is because I have chronic autoimmune diseases. And this is how I make my living to contribute to our family and, have a purpose in life to make sure that I'm not just laying in bed all day, because I would do that if I could.
Mm-hmm.
And
good at it.
I'm really good at laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
If that were a sport, I could be
gold medal.
Yeah. Olympic athlete.
Mm.
Do you think there's a nap Olympic athlete? No, I don't sleep. So I would lose in napping. But anyway, so that is the deal with that. Yes, the data course includes, what did you put in there as far as the spreadsheets? We have a template. And what else?
Template. We have examples,
tutorials on how to use it.
Yeah, there'll be videos where we go through the basics, and that's where we need the feedback of what else you guys want, because some of this can be overwhelming if we could put everything in there. So we really need feedback on what you would want to learn. So we go through the basics.
The link isn't working.
So we go through the basics, and from there, we just want feedback on additional items that you might want, and that's where we'll enhance the content. But definitely video is very hands-on, because just seeing it in print sometimes doesn't work.
Okay, let me know if that link works. If it doesn't, I'm going to give you the link that does work. Yeah.
Snoring. He's bored.
That definitely sounded like a fart.
No, he's snoring.
Honey, are you farting during our seminars?
I'm not that comfortable with this group yet. No.
All right. So here's the deal. I thought we had everything up. We tested it. I paid for my own course just to make sure that it worked. Make sure if it didn't work.
This is the fun of technology, right?
I'm the worst at this. We tested everything. Okay, remove the slash at the end. Oh my gosh, whoever's told me that is a genius.
So
all right.
This is data. If you have that slash in there, ruins your whole entire life.
Data ruins everything.
Or it's the magic. So
all right, try that. Try that link. Someone gave us a thumbs down.
Already?
Yeah.
Nice. Probably my outfit.
I think it's because of the dog.
My beer's out, so.
I think it's because he's snoring. Do you want to tell everyone a funny story about me?
No.
You're boring. People like to know funny stories. Okay, and then don't forget to use the code EARLYBIRD. What else? Do you have a funny data story about me?
No.
Do you have a funny just life story about me?
You have funny stories. You should tell
but
stories.
You're a good storyteller.
No.
We should end this on a funny, hilarious story.
What story would you like me to tell?
Any story.
Most of hers are inappropriate, so we're just.
Well, they're appropriate.
No.
They're very appropriate.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, pick one.
You pick one, and I'll tell you if you can tell it. Do it.
Do what? What story?
I don't know. What's the funniest story? All right. Tell them about the migraine story when we came back from urgent care that one day in the elevator. And then we'll end it. And I'll let you go.
Okay. trying to remember exactly what you did.
All right, I'll set it up.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you, we're going to tell you a funny story about me so you can kind of understand our relationship. I don't want you to think that he's like super serious guy, because he's not. So many of you know that I suffer from chronic migraines, and often, fingers crossed, we haven't been there in a while, but we have to go to urgent care for me to get pain shots because my over-the-counter or my prescription medicines don't always work for me. So this was a very particular migraine in the sense that I was very violently ill with this one. And when I go to urgent care, he has several pictures of me because I ask him to take pictures of me because I blog about this and share my journey of my illnesses. But I'm wearing well, you can describe it out there. That's the setup. So this is his story is our last trip to the urgent care.
So it's probably what, 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. It's just kind of a random day.
Bad.
So I'm all dressed up, suited up to go to work, and she can't go. So I
can't go to work.
Well, I can't go to work because you can't.
Oh, you can't go.
You're like, well, so I take you to the down the street because we still lived in this apartment which was 7 floors.
Yeah.
6 floors.
Bad.
So very public building and very nice. So we take her to the urgent care where I'm all suited up, but she's basically threw on whatever she could put on, which was a tank top. Been wearing it for a couple days. Do we have a bra on? Yes or no? Sweatpants. What are you looking at? Sweatpants, boots up to your knees, but your one thing was up too far, so you were very disheveled. So we take you there, we bring you back to the elevator, and you're had shots, you had been puking, you just were a mess. And so we get in the elevator, again, this is probably now 10:30, so the business world and everybody's kind of going around. We get into the elevator, and there's a guy in there, probably in his mid-20s. He's with some company, so he's not in the building. Like, he didn't
like a vendor.
There. He didn't work there. And then the first thing that I noticed about him was that he had a lot of cologne on.
Did you notice?
And, well, I noticed it, but so we were facing each other. So we're in a very small elevator. This guy's in the back, doesn't know us. She looks like a hobo. There might have been some puke down the side of her face. I wasn't sure what it was. It could have been dinner from last night. And I'm all dressed up. And so she looks like she got out of the asylum. And I was her entourage.
I was like, can you drive me somewhere?
I was her FBI agent to make sure she got back to the my earpiece in. So he's sitting there, but he's got a lot of cologne on. And I know she's very sensitive to smell, just in general.
Yeah, but
there's a superpower that happens when she's nauseous, that it becomes super sensitive. And so her head is down. I was like, oh no, don't say anything. Don't say anything. And the first thing she said is, oh my God, what is that smell? Again, we're in this 10 by 10, maybe less than that, cube. I know I have to go up 6 floors with this guy. I know he's the one with the cologne because it's definitely not me. And you're like, oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever smelled. Very loud, like she wasn't whispering to me. She was right here next to me. He's standing there. I can see him. He's the one with the cologne on. And I wasn't sure. I didn't look at him. I couldn't look at him. And it went on for a good minute because I think we stopped on a floor. So then it got
5 floors.
Well, we were on the 6th, but he was going up with us. And so within
And wasn't I gagging?
Yeah, you were gagging. And it happened a couple times. You're like, and as we're walking out, you're like, I cannot believe who would do that. What an awful person. That was awful. And so we just quickly got out of that elevator because, and again, she looked like a hobo. And so this guy's looking at this woman who, he might have thought you were on some kind of serious drugs, which you were, actually, technically.
I was on drugs.
But I couldn't do anything.
Why didn't you say to him, like, I'm sorry, she's
Well, I'm sure he went home and was like, oh my God, I'm throwing that Dracar away. I'm going to throw that stuff away because I cannot. So that woman was very insulting to me. But those are the micro moments that you have that kind of realize that you're a special person.
That poor guy ruined his life.
Yeah. I mean, he thought he would put that stuff on and went like, God, I smell good today.
People think that, like, invisible illnesses only affect you when really you ruin other people, strangers' lives too.
Yep, all in your wake.
All right. Someone asked to know what is in more detailed, including in the training.
Well, I think there's overall strategy of, you know, why we say we do
well,
this.
So we break it down. It's like module 1 is all about why you should do it. And we talk about the different things that I've gotten out of my business, how I've improved my sales and my shopping and save time and all of that kind of thing. And then the second part is all about Google Sheets. And you literally do tutorials on how to set up everything from scratch.
And we try to keep them short. So we don't throw a 20-minute video at you. We give sections and hot links on how to do it within the video. Kind of goes through examples that hopefully are tangible to what you do and you can understand. Right.
And then the third part is going through, you have it more, that's like the meat of it is module 3. And that is that the one with all of the template, the fake, well, you pulled real data from mine, but made a spreadsheet out of it. And then you go through and show how to.
We explain more in depth of what, the who, what, when, where, how, why we set it up this way.
Right.
Some of the issues you have or that you experience, we detail those so that you don't make the same mistakes. So we make it so you see some real, it's fake data, but it's about as real as we can get it without giving away everything. And so, yeah, that's the meat of it.
And then I go through and show you how I pull my sales data, how I pull the data from all of the different selling platforms that I sell on. So eBay, Grailed, Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, eBay, and all of those things. I can do a video on Amazon, not FBA, but sell by merchant. So if you want to sell your own stuff or you want to sell stuff on Amazon, but do it as a merchant, I can show you how to do that. And then we go into more of the reporting,
but again, from
charting, graphs.
What we think is the most important thing do you know about that? So for pretty high level, and that's where we need the feedback. Like, what else would you want to know? Do you want to get into the technical details? Do we put that into a different, module so people understand? They need to know the basics before we get into knee deep into how to write queries and do kinds of sophisticated things. So that's where we want you to give feedback on what else would you want to know.
And then there's a whole resource guide, which is like tools I've used, tools we use, bookkeeping tools, books we've read.
We didn't talk anything about the inventory system.
Well, and then I have my barcoding. I put there's going to be an entire section about my barcoding system, how I use barcodes, and this scanner thing. Where'd it go? This guy.
I hate that noise. I don't have anything on me, I don't think. I'm not barcoded yet. Eventually they're going to do that to you, and then all your credit cards and stuff, you're just going to go in.
No. Anyway, so I'll show you how I do my barcoding system and how that really makes this kind of go through my process on how I do everything. And I don't suggest that everyone just goes out and copies everything that I do, because my method and the way that I do things might not be your method and how you do things. So the goal of this is to get you to kind of find your own balance. Obviously, we do want you to enter the data. We want you to enter the data. We're going to show you how to do that. But as far as the processes go and getting the stuff and entering it and taking pictures, I'll go through my system and show you everything that I do for that, how I track it, when I report it, and all of that kind of stuff. But really, it's up to you to create your own system and what works for you. Because if you don't find some kind of balance and system that works for you, you're not going to do it.
Right. That's part of the challenge.
Right.
If you said it better than I could.
Okay.
The question on there was, can you do it? You can do this at any time. It's not a predefined time.
Right.
On the course, so you can take it at whenever at your own pace, own time. It's not a set time.
Okay. So right now, I just want to make this clear. Right now, if you are watching this video before February 14th, all of the sales now are pre-sales. So these are all pre-sales. You're getting automatically introduced into the beta program. As of February 14th, the beta program is going to be shut off. It launches on the 14th, and the actual like full giant version of everything is going to launch on April 1st. Now, you have if you pay $49 for this right now tonight, you have full access to this course. As we add content, as we get feedback, as we add videos, you have lifetime access to this course. So it's going to launch on February 14th, but as we add things and build it, there'll be no upcharge. There's no extra fees. There's no, you have to pay to play. None of that. This is truly, we are asking for your help in this beta version to make sure that we can make it the best that we can for other resellers. And, part of the reason that I mean, you are too, but the reason you've helped me with this is that I'm so passionate about helping you guys who want to work from home or do reselling because you have all of these other things that might be going on in your life and it's hard to work full time, or you can't work full time. Like, I'm not disabled, but I can't work full time because my health doesn't allow it. It's so unpredictable. Maybe you have children or parents, or you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever the case may be, maybe you can talk about why you have this really important job that you spend like 80 hours a week on, but you're still helping me with this, besides the fact you're my husband. But I know you have there's a part of you that really wants to help other people too.
Yeah, I think that's why we do what we do. I mean, we want to help other people that are, anything I do, I want to make other people better. I mean, that's the reason why I go to work. That's the reason why, we have dogs that are always a little bit special needs. That's why I married you. I'm kidding. That's why you married me, actually. Yeah. Where we want to make each other better. And at the end of the day, this isn't going to, this isn't life-changing as far as anything that we're doing, but it does, I think, add to how we can get back in a different way, because you do a lot of stuff online, you do a lot of things that I've seen, and a lot of people, I think, gravitate towards that, but we want to give something tangible back. It's the only little way that I can do it, because I don't do the day-to-day stuff that you do. And
well, you really like getting your picture taken, so
yeah, this is it. This is the last time I'm ever on camera, by the way.
Let's see. Yeah, so the course will be available anytime you want to log on. That's when it's going to be available. Yeah, my boss actually, I'm going to be having some of my own shirts made, so bear with me. We'll get there. But one thing at a time. I can barely function for a full day at a time sometimes. So we'll get there, and I'll make sure. I actually got this. It was pre-owned on Mercari for $8. So not only do I sell on these sites, I buy on them too. So
great.
All right, what else do people want to know? Anything? You guys have 3 thumbs down.
That was close. You were close.
All right. Well, if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. The link to this course is this spreadsheet much different than the one you used in your original video? I think it's more in depth, right? It's like we go through more tutorials with it, more detail than because the webinar was so long, we didn't really get a chance.
The spreadsheet itself will be very, very similar.
It's similar, but we actually show how to use it more.
Well, yeah, it's very much like a curriculum. Again, it's going to go through and spell those things out. But the actual spreadsheet that we give at the end is very similar.
Right. Yeah. Okay, someone asked that. All right, last chance. Any other questions? We still have to go eat dinner. No?
Dinner?
I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm hungry. Did you eat dinner without me?
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna eat dinner. All right, well, thanks so much. And everything will be, all of the links and everything are going to be in the description. If you have questions about anything that I use for my business, or, what tools I use, what products I use, anything like that, it's in my reseller toolkit. That link is in my bio. are in the description below and in my Instagram bio. They're everywhere. So just start looking around. You'll be able to find it. And thank you so much for joining us today.
That was the fake thank you. That was the fake smile, the fake googly eyes.
Mwah.
Mm.
Thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. And bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.